goth rock, death rock, dark wave, cyber goth. Being goth is a really difficult thing to define. Being rebellious, but with a macabre or dark structure behind it.
I think to be goth means to not be afraid anymore.
The goth scene is starting to become a lot more inclusive, multicultural and everything.
The time is now to be loud, be proud, be yourself.
Est-ce que vous aussi, vous avez remarqué le retour en force d'un certain look tout de noir, de piques et de visages plus ou moins pâles? Oui, la subculture gothique semble renaître d'entre les morts et revenir à grands pas dans le mainstream. Pour cet épisode de Trax, j'ai décidé de me rendre au cœur de ce mouvement underground, là où il est né à la fin des années 70 à Londres. Car la capitale britannique vit un vrai renouveau du mouvement gothique, avec des artistes qui trouvent la beauté dans les ténèbres et des soirées aux bandes-son diaboliques.
Goth has always evolved over the years since the late 70s with all the different influences. I feel maybe now might be a bit different. I feel like things have kind of spread out even more. Maybe the look is a lot more inspired by post-humanism or transhumanism.
Je suis d'abord allée rendre visite à l'artiste Parma Ham. Oui, son nom, c'est vraiment Jambon de Parme. Ce nom qui elle revendique comme une critique de la société de consommation qui a tendance à nous marketer, justement, comme des bouts de viande.
Is it a cat goth?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, just look at them. They kind of look like a bat.
Yeah.
Being clear on what I do is a difficult one. I'm an artist. I kind of go in a lot of different directions. I really don't like to stick to one medium. And I've done painting, I've done sculpture, I've done performance. I've done music, I've done DJ. I don't like to stick to one thing. Like, I find it almost quite limiting.
Ham, pour les intimes, est une figure centrale du renouveau gothique à Londres.
I don't really think my method is that much different to everyone else. It's the same thing, it's just we want to look nice and this is my version of what nice is.
Et c'est dans son plus simple appareil que je l'ai retrouvé pour une séance photo, sur le point d'enfiler une tenue designée par Yodea Williams-Braham.
Shall we? Yeah. All right, let's do it.
This is essentially like a youth culture, like it's dominated by people in their teenagers and 20s. And, you know, youth culture is something that's rebellious. It can't be something that, you know, your parents were doing 20, 30, 40 years ago. Like, it needs to be something which maybe might upset other people and might be too extreme, or people might think it's stupid and they don't get it. That is kind of the point. Can you get the white foundation? And the sponge, I think it's upstairs. Thanks for that. I think like the resurgence of subculture right now might come down to the facts, I guess the politics of the mainstream. There's just so many things to be angry. Ecological crisis that's happening, the wealth divide, rebelling against the way some of us are treated.
Tell you what, if I had my kids in now, smack them straight in the fucking face.
I'm glad we got that.
Wow, that's nice.
Thank you, babe. That was a lot, back to back.
Yeah.
I started off quite young, at maybe the age of 13, and that's how I kind of like edged into goth and metal music. Like that? The dark clothes and the trashy, messed up makeup kind of came through. With goth specifically, it was this outlet of wearing clothes of like the opposite gender to having long hair to painting my nails, wearing makeup. And that just kind of provided a excuse as to the reason why I could dress in a slightly different way without necessarily saying like I'm queer or I'm non-binary or anything like that. But I definitely think a lot of like maybe the more almost horror-esque elements, you know, maybe that some of that does come from, you know, the struggle with it, you know, struggling maybe with yourself, but also struggling with the rest of the world.
Au départ, le goth, c'était une manière pour Ham d'explorer son identité à travers des looks extrêmes. Mais après avoir quitté la petite ville conservatrice de Guildford dans le Surrey pour Londres, c'est devenu une philosophie et un outil de rébellion. C'est comme ça que Parma Ham a créé, en 2019, la soirée Wraith, qui réunit régulièrement la communauté dans différents clubs londoniens.
Obviously, there's a lot of politics involved with the way we dress, but it's okay shaving your hair into a mohawk and saying that. But what does that actually mean? So when I talk about the way I look and the things I've received and stuff, and what makes Wraith political, of course it's political. We're literally doing a fundraiser for LGBTQI refugees. We are doing politics. It's not just us ourselves and our looks that cause friction. We are doing politics.
Welcome to Wraith, everyone. Let's get in.
You look amazing, thank you.
Musique, mode, poésie, Parma Ham décrit la Wraith comme une soirée de performance transgressive pour des artistes avec un penchant pour le sombre, le transhumanisme et le fétichisme.
It was instantly quite successful and well liked, and it just kind of like took off from there. Maybe in the 70s and 80s and 90s, you know, there was kind of like a bit of a almost diversity problem when you look at subculture. It was very white, it was very male-led, it was very straight, and it was very cisgender. Whereas now, when you go to a place like Wraith, things have changed a lot.
Même si on a tendance à associer le mouvement goth au rock et au métal, c'est dans des univers de rave que Parma Ham a puisé l'inspiration pour les soirées Wraith. D'où un léger changement de playlist.
The most hardest, loudest music you can imagine. I mean, it's gabba music, it's hardcore, it's up-tempo, it's more post-human. To an outsider, it would probably be quite horrific, but I find it quite compelling and unpredictable.
As soon as I went to Wraith, I felt like a genuine physical shift in my energy. No matter how amazing our experiences have been, this is still just the beginning, and the life that we have ahead of us is incredible.
Ce qui est magique avec Wraith, c'est que c'est pas juste une soirée, c'est un espace de tolérance. Et je pense qu'à l'heure actuelle, c'est important d'avoir des espaces comme ça, à cause du climat politique actuel, avec la montée grandissante de l'extrême droite un petit peu partout en Europe.
I think platforms like this are really essential. I would say it's definitely kind of changed the makeup of the London scene and environment. It started off almost like a movement of people, which I don't think would really exist without us.
Lui, c'est L9, le photographe résident de la Wraith. Son travail documente l'évolution de cette nouvelle scène goth, plus excentrique, plus diversifiée et plus colorée que jamais.
Goths wear colour now. That is something crazy. I mean, someone said to me, white's the new black, and at first I didn't get behind it, but then turns out people really be wearing colour now, and it's looking kind of cute. Yeah. I think Hello Kitty's the new black. I think Ham was saying to me the other day, I'm not sure if I'm feeling like a goth or I'm feeling like being Hello Kitty today. I think we're all about experimentation. I think people don't have any fear anymore. We're not putting ourselves in a box. Sometimes we want to be Hello Kitty and sometimes we want to wear black. Love it for everybody else. Love it for anyone else. I think I want to photograph colour, but in black and white.
L9 photographie aussi les artistes de la communauté en dehors des soirées. Au départ, il m'avait convié à un photoshoot dans un cimetière. Mais c'est finalement dans le quartier de Haringey que je l'ai retrouvé avec 2 des DJ résidents de Rave.
What makes this night, this event, this movement so special?
I think like with rave compared to other nights, it's like so much more inclusive because like everyone that goes is really individual, whether that's like the way they express themselves artistically or like just like in their appearance. So cute. I was an observer of the scene until I met my friends. I told them like a few months ago, I was like, I think I've decided that I'm now a part of the scene. And they were like, Elle, what the fuck are you talking about? You're the center of the scene. I was like, something about photographing in the darkness. In the scene, in nightlife, is you're not always gonna capture like that perfect image. I always try and think about the experience first and then the image after. I would never want to interfere with like what's happening. Never ask permission, beg for forgiveness. That's something quite important for me. If you ask for permission, they're probably going to say no, so you may as well get that shot without interfering in the experience, obviously. Cute.
Comme pour Parma Ham, la communauté gothique a été pour L9 un moyen de s'affirmer.
I went to an all-girls grammar school when I was in high school, which was interesting because now I'm a trans man. You want to see? My nipples are a bit cunted right now. How do you feel? Anyway, pretty good. Sorry, nude. Diversity and inclusion should be celebrated, and people need to know that they might not feel like they fit in, but at some point you will find your people. Like I should not be admitting this, but I'm 26 years old. I'm 26 years old, and it took me until this year to meet my people. Come to rave.
Le mouvement gothique est né du punk à la fin des années 70, mais il a continué de se nourrir d'autres subcultures. Et l'une des choses qui m'a interpellée, c'est de voir l'hybridation qui existe aujourd'hui avec une esthétique manga ou animée. Pour en parler, je suis allée voir Pixie Venom, dont l'univers multicolore et cybergoth influence à la fois son travail d'illustration et sa musique. Je l'ai retrouvée à Camden, un quartier emblématique pour les cultures alternatives.
I used to live here, so yeah, I grew up really close to the Kentish town, so I've watched Camden kind of like change a bit. It's become a bit more gentrified now, but like it's still got some of the bits that like I grew up with and really liked.
Ensuite, Pixie m'a invitée dans sa crypte, éclairée en violet, sa couleur préférée.
So I suppose like all of my style is influenced by a mishmash of like the cyber like gothic anime kind of drag kind of stuff that I like to do sometimes. Just kind of like very big eyes, like very like gothic like kind of like lining and everything, but it's kind of in a draggy way. So it's just a mishmash of things, I suppose.
Can I sit down here?
Yeah. This is my batleth. It's one of my favorite weapons that I managed to find somewhere deep on the internet. I usually just use it for shoots as well. I used to be able to like spin it and like do some tricks, but like I can't do that anymore. There's my little like two-headed Teletubby here. It's a backpack. The handles are I made this one, and my old friend made this one. We were just like drawing on it together back when we were like 17. Just has like a bunch of like dark emo writing stuff on it, like hands of time will wring my neck every moment, spells regret. Just stuff like that. I never fit in anywhere when I was at school, to be honest. I was bullied about my looks, I was just bullied about the way that I walked, the way that I talked, like it was literally everything.
C'est alors qu'elle était au lycée, où Yel a subi du harcèlement scolaire, que Pixie s'est tournée vers le mouvement goth et les communautés en ligne. Des influences qui marquent aujourd'hui son approche artistique.
I use Site, Illustrator, I use Photoshop, I use Paint.net, like to make these images, it's never just like on one program. It's kind of like a depiction of me. It's the like borderline state of bipolar disorder, where it's showing like the lows and the highs and everything. I made the drawing to have like a split three heads because it shows like how my emotions will like change when I'm experiencing these things, basically. Yeah, I kind of experiment with like electronic, like punk, like digipunk kind of stuff and gothic kind of things with my music. I'm also like kind of like sort of video gaming kind of stuff as well sometimes. But yeah, kind of just like a mishmash of beats and me like screaming on top of it, basically. When I'm on stage, I'm just able to just dispel everything that's, you know, been a burden on me before. It's nice that people can just relate to the kind of like pain and stuff I've been through and make it something happy instead. Just being in the queer goth scene it's just made my life so much better. I'm just so much more comfortable with myself.
Le mouvement gothique puise son esthétique dans le macabre. Mais ce qui m'a marqué chez ces nouveaux goths londoniens, c'est surtout leur optimisme dans la rébellion. Leur révolte s'exprime à travers une communauté festive et joyeuse qui crée des espaces où tout le monde est bienvenu. Leur univers est sombre, c'est sûr, mais il est aussi très très fun.
I mean, one of the slogans of punk, I think, was like, no future. And that's honestly how a lot of people kind of felt. And maybe what's changed now is a lot of the people around me are forward-looking, and maybe there's a lot more optimism there. I think that optimism kind of comes from almost like the excitement of like the next thing and I guess creating for the future.